I'm Francine Delgado, comic cover artist. Thank you for listening to True North Country Comics.
Welcome to the True North Country Comics podcast, dedicated to promote Canadian comic book and graphic novel creators and supporters. I'm John Swinimer. On this episode, I chat with Francine Delgado as she provides a sneak peek about the comic book and illustration offerings at her table at New York Comicon 2024. Please like and subscribe to this website by hitting the subscribe button so you'll be notified about new podcast interviews and article posts. This podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, YouTube Podcasts, and YouTube Video. So please follow and subscribe to the podcast and video feed of your choosing. New York Comicon is the United States East Coast's largest pop culture convention, and the only one that takes place in the comic book, publishing, media, and licensing capital of the world, New York City. From meeting celebrities to surprise appearances, to the top anime, cosplay, and gaming stars, and of course, comic book creators from every corner of the globe, it's got a little something for everyone to enjoy. Francine Delgado is a Costa Rican artist who also resides in Vancouver, British Columbia. Since 2014, she's been working in the animation industry as a character artist for feature film and television. Francine's work projects have included The Addams Family, Megaman, Fully Charged Monster High, York Monster High, and Scarier Reef. She was also the artist on 3 Canadian graphic novels, USNA II, Books 1, 2, and 3. Francine's first co-creation, the Comet Combustion, was published at New York Comicon 2017 by Insight Comics. Francine's most recent work can be found on the covers of Gatchaman, Flash Gordon, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Her artwork can also be found in the comic book series Blood of Atlantis, written by Jon Auerbach. So, without further ado, here's my chat with Francine Delgado, as she provides a sneak peek about the comic book and illustration offerings at her table at New York Comicon 2024. So, Francine Delgado, thank you very much for taking time to chat with me.
Hello, John. It's a pleasure, as always.
It's always a pleasure speaking to you. As I always say, you're like a ray of sunshine whenever I hear your voice, so it's great talking to you.
Oh, you're too kind.
So, before I get going to the questions, I would like to know, what are you reading today? What's on your bedside reading table?
That's a perfect question because I just started reading Daniel Warren Johnson's Murder Falcon. Are you familiar with that one?
I'm not. What's that all about?
Well, I just started, but my boyfriend finished it and he recommended so well. I think I heard Daniel said that this is the project he always wanted to do. And so far it's crazy. So far there are like some crazy aliens or monsters attacking Earth. And there is this guy that started playing his guitar, and from the music came out this humanoid falcon that is fighting the monsters. So yeah, it's crazy, but it's looking so cool so far.
Okay, sounds good. So we're talking because you're going to be exhibiting at New York Comicon, which is a great show. So I'm wondering, with that in mind, what will you be showing at your table?
Yes, I'm going to be at New York Comicon this year, and my table is going to be C44, and I have a couple of things special for this commission. First of all, I'm going to have some comics for the Gatchaman covers I did for Mapcave. I also will have my artist-proof comics for the Flash Gordon Quarterly. This one is very special because it's an artist-proof. There are only 20 copies, so they're going to be like very limited run, and I'm going to be doing remarks on this. So if there are any Flash Gordon fans, I recommend this one very highly. And also, last but not least, I'm going to have the comic that I was doing for a Kickstarter, Blood of Atlantis. My writer, the creator of the comic, Jon, is going to be there, and he's going to bring some of those comics to sell to everybody that want to get the book at New York Comicon.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting. I remember last time we talked about Blood of Atlantis, and it sounded like a very intriguing book. And it was #1, right? I think that's what you're working on. Is there going to be more to the series, you think?
Yeah, no, absolutely. At the moment, I already have the script that Jon did for #2, and I'm working on layouts for the second part. So yeah, super exciting things.
That's cool. Now, this convention, of course, is going to be held in New York City. So I got to ask you, what do you like most about New York City?
Oh, absolutely. There are a lot of things to love about New York, but my answer to that question always going to be Broadway. I totally love Broadway and the musical theater. I'm a sucker for musical theater.
Do you think you'll get an opportunity to get out and see at least one show?
Yes, absolutely. The problem is I only have one night free to doing this. So the problem is which show. And last year, me and my friend, we did two shows because we were greedy, but it was not good. We were dead the next day.
Oh, yeah, you got to have a lot of energy when you're back at the show, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's a bit of a challenge. There's so much to see on Broadway, so many great shows, and yet you have an obligation to be back on the show floor. So if you could clone yourself, that would work, you know?
Yeah. If I could clone myself, I will send my clone to the convention and I will go to Broadway.
There you go. Yeah. So I got to ask you then, you're doing a lot of festivals, conventions. I'm wondering what is going to be on your schedule after New York Comic Con?
Oh, well, let's see. After New York, oh, I think New York is my last convention of the year, if I recall correctly.
So that's it. You're pretty much like wound down. That's the last big one, I guess.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be wrapping up convention for myself on
Yeah.
October with New York. But
Oh,
if you're going to wrap up a convention with any convention, isn't that one a great one to do it?
yeah. No, it's always a good one. I mean, I ran by your table at the Fan Expo in Canada because there was just so many people. I didn't get a chance to say a good hello. And I know you're doing Edmonton. You were there, and you've been to a lot of conventions this year. So I guess it's definitely a time to wind things down, take it easy, and then regroup for next year. I guess, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I may be adding LA Comic Con in between Edmonton and, and New York. That one is not 100% sure, but almost.
Yeah, it's always good to get out and see people. I guess that's sort of a great thing to do. Whenever I talk to creators about conventions, it's not only seeing the fans, but also seeing your fellow creators too, like rubbing shoulders and saying hi to people you haven't seen in a long time, that sort of thing, right?
Yeah, John, and for this New York Comic Con, it's very special for me because it's the first time that I'm going to be at the convention with some peers from Costa Rica. So I'm going to be with the lovely Catherine Lobo and Sergio Cunha and Dan Mora, of course. So we are going to be all in C42 through 45.
That's terrific. I remember we talked about this a long time ago. In fact, you received an award, I think, back in Costa Rica from the local folks there. Maybe you could talk a little bit more about what the comic book scene, the creator scene is like there. Is it thriving? Lots of creativity? How would you describe it?
Well, yeah, I think there is a lot of talent. Like some of the new talent is incredible. I know like the older folks, but the new ones that you see just popping up in social media, they are so good and talented. And I know that also some of Costa Rican folks are working for European comics as well. So definitely the scene is growing. It's still a very small industry back there, but a lot of talent working for the American and the European comic scenes.
So I think it's a dual purpose, I guess you could say, for bringing your colleagues along with you from Costa Rica, not only to see what's available in North America, but also to spread the news about them, I guess, get them networking and let other people see their work. I guess that's always a good thing, right?
Oh no, they are terrific. They have been already working with DG, Boom, and other publishers for a while. Like, well, Dan Mora is super well known, and he won some Eisner awards and everything. And Sergio, he's working on Nightwing, and Catherine works on Harley Quinn, and also Gatchaman. So they are super pro and terrific people to be around it. So I feel very gladly that they are going to be next to me at my table and that they are peers from my original country.
Well, pardon my ignorance for not knowing them, but thank you for enlightening me. It sounds like there's a lot of great talent there, and certainly, I guess, with sort of the way that people find creators around the world now, it's an easy thing to, as you said, be international. You could have one creator in one country, another country working on the same project together without any concern about timing or any of that sort of thing.
Yeah, that thing, one of the things of being an advantage of working online or with internet is that in their case, they didn't have to move from Costa Rica and they are doing comics and what they love from there. Everybody has a different path. In my case, I love my path. I love being in Canada. I love becoming a Canadian citizen. I love this country, and I love working on comics as well. So I think everybody has their different path.
Absolutely. Now, speaking of what you've got on your pad, Blood of Atlantis #2, you were saying you're working on that one. That's down the road. Are there any other projects that you can talk about that we can look forward to in the near future?
Yeah, absolutely. Also, I'm working on a new cover for the Gatchaman June the Swan one shot. I think that one is going to be around November when it's out. It's not going to be ready for New York because New York is in October. But yeah, that's the new cover I'm working on. And I think that cover and the Blood of Atlantis are the two things I have on my plate at the moment. I'm always looking for more stuff. And if I have something else cool, I'll let you know.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So for everything that you're doing currently and in the future, where can people find out about your projects online? What do you recommend?
Okay, it's still not perfect yet, but I'm working on my personal webpage that is francinedelgado.com. And that is my name, francinedelgado.com. I'm asking folks to go there because over there I'm going to have like all my socials. My socials are a little bit of a mess because nothing is like organized or in one place. I'm Fran Delgado, in another place I'm Francine Delgado Art. So it's really, really messy. I'm sorry for that. I didn't know this was going to go up when I create them. Sorry. That's why I'm recommending everybody to go to my webpage, francinedelgado.com. And from there, I'm going to have easy links to all the other places that I'm on. I'm also on Cara app. You guys are on Cara app. You can find me there. Francine Delgado Art. And yeah.
Thanks to Francine for the chat. You can discover more about Francine on Instagram at instagram.com/Francine Delgado Art. And thanks to you for listening to the True North Country Comics podcast. Please like and subscribe to this website by hitting the subscribe button so you'll be notified about new podcast interviews and article posts. This podcast is also available on Apple Podcasts, YouTube Podcasts, and YouTube Video. So please follow and subscribe to the podcast and video feed of your choosing. Remember, you can follow along at True North Country Comics on most social media sites. And you can send any and all feedback to John at truenorthcountrycomics.com. Thanks for listening, and come back soon for another episode. Bye for now. True North Country Comics Podcast is copyright True North Country Comics, copyright 2024.